What is up, everyone? I am Matt. That is Jeff and Paige, and we are here to talk to you about the Oscar nominations. The nominees are in for 2025's Oscars, and we are really excited and down to talk about this. Jeff, Paige, how are you doing? Let's start ladies first.
You know what? I'm doing swell. I mean, I was up first thing this morning watching the nominations, and I gotta say, I love Rachel Sennett and Bowen Yang. Is that how you say his name? I
Yep,
believe it is.
Bowen Yang.
I thought they did such a great job with the announcements this morning because I woke up very tired, and their personalities, but you could tell they were both exhausted, just like made it that much better because they looked like they were trucking through it just like I was.
I mean, Bowen lives in New York, so that would make sense. All the Saturday nights, night lives and all that. So yeah, kind of has to live on this East Coast time. So he's probably feeling a lot better than Rachel. I'll say that much because it was what 5 a.m. there.
Yep.
Jeff, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. My stomach is filled. I'm nice and hydrated. Been a nice evening. Caught up on Dexter, Original Sin. Good times.
Interesting. Okay. I have not watched a single frame of any Dexter show, and I'm finally starting Severance. But
you should watch Dexter because the last two seasons are the guy who did Iron Fist and Inhumans.
I don't need to. Listen, I am very selective about my TV watching nowadays because
a lot of it's just watching Smallville right now.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say a little bit of a self plug. Views from Metropolis is going on right now, so I've been watching Smallville. I'm gonna have to watch Superman the animated series, Tyler Hoechlin's Superman and Lois. Rewatch My Adventures with Superman. So there's a lot there that I'm having to, like, TV wise, just keep trucking through. So I am very selective about what I'm watching in my free time because otherwise I am just overall screwed, man. It is not fun.
I feel like it's time now to catch up on some Oscar movies. That's for sure.
That's what I did before this show. I watched one of the most divisive movies in this nomination group. So this should be interesting. But no, yeah, let's say it off the top. That's the wrong title on this video. Oops. But either way, start off the top. We aren't going to break down every single category. We discussed this ahead of time. We can just briefly talk about them before if you guys want. And if you want to chime in the chat, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we are just focusing on what some would consider the main 6 categories of the Academy Awards.
I think they're called the above-the-line categories.
Yes, the above-the-line categories. And that's just...
Screenplays are also above the line.
Listen, I was trying to avoid a 2-hour episode.
No, I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. We don't need to share all of them.
We'll talk
just ours.
Yeah, we can briefly talk about those at the end if we have some time.
Yeah, if we want to. But we're focusing on the above-the-line categories, and it was just easier that way for us. And still, I was very shocked by some, happy by others, and annoyed by some others. So, but I know Jeff loves one of the ones I'm very annoyed by, so this will be fun.
Which is the one that you're well, I guess we'll get to it.
Let's get into it.
Funny enough, Paige knows, but we'll get into it.
Yeah.
So we will start off with none other than the best. We'll go from the supporting to just how they do it in the show. Supporting to actor to leads and then director and picture. So starting off with the best supporting actor. Oopsies. We're going to start off with the best supporting actor category. There we go.
Okay.
I realized I forgot editing.
You know that it's like whatever.
We are live.
We're live.
Just chatting.
We're live. So,
what's going on
best
here.
supporting actor. Best supporting actor.
Yeah, there we go. You're doing great.
We got this, guys. We got this.
I'm trying to do a few things at once. All right, so we have
just do one.
Yuri Borisov from Anora, Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain, Edward Norton from A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce from The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong from The Apprentice. Who knew that we would get the brothers from Succession going at it again to see who brings home the gold?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, how are you feeling about this?
I haven't seen A Complete Unknown yet, so I am going to, abstain from talking about Edward Norton. I've heard good things. That's all I know. Can you pull up the list again?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, they're all great choices. They're all awesome. They're all really, really good. I don't know if you've seen all four of these films here, but Yura Borisov is just so interesting and funny in Anora, and Guy Pearce in The Brutalist is also awesome. I remember like when he first walked on screen, my first thought was like, oh, he's really over the top. This is distracting. And then it shifted so wayly and it worked so well. And who's the fifth person again?
The fifth person is Jeremy Strong.
Jeremy
That's
Strong.
I think that's the most
that's the biggest surprise, I
guess.
think. I was really glad to see Jeremy Strong and Sebastian Stan get a lot more notice for their work in The Apprentice, which was a film that I
a lot of people thought wouldn't get any nominations because of its subject matter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about that so much as I know when I watched it, I was like very on it, but I watched it the day after the election, or the day after the election. And I was like, oh, well, this seems apt. And I guess I didn't feel very much towards them, but it's really grown on me as I've thought about it. Yeah, so, but Kieran Culkin is he's one of my favorite performances of the whole year. I think that if that would be the person who I would vote for, that's the person who I think would, but on immediate gut check. Yeah.
I understand that. If I'm looking at this list, going back to it, from this group, Kieran's who I'd probably vote for, and that's. I know some people have issues with his performance, saying it's just the same thing he does on Succession, which I totally disagree.
I disagree with. That's just like talking a little bit about. That's just kind of his personality thing. That's not part of the character.
But also in Succession, he's like intentionally being a dick, and in this, he is not intentionally being a dick. He is just an abrasive personality in general.
He has some mental illness that's not being properly treated.
So
very different,
like PTSD or PTSD. Paige, what do you think?
Yeah, when it came to the nominations, I will say this was for all of the acting nominations that we got today. All of the categories, I thought like there were a couple that could have gone anywhere, because I would say like besides one in particular, I was like, But for this one, I mean, I think the biggest surprise was Jeremy Strong. I think it's nice to see the Succession brothers going back at it now in the same category. Edward Norton, it was kind of cool to see him play like the nice guy, like the sweet guy, because we haven't gotten that much from him in a while. Yura Borisov, I love Anora. It was my second favorite film of last year. I kind of hope, since he's like the least known out of the bunch, that he may get the bump that he needs, because people might be like, oh, let's go for something different. Who knows? But I think right now it is Kieran's prize to lose. Even though my biggest concern with his performance, as much as I liked it, is I feel like he's playing too much of himself. And I really want to see something different. And maybe it's because I don't know You're that well, that his performance really stuck with me. But Jeremy Strong, though, I gotta say, like, I think a lot of people probably know my opinion on Trump. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but there's no denying that film is really good, and the two performances in it that got nominated today were great. So, and well deserved. Everyone here well deserved.
Culkin's having like the McConaughey moment without the Renaissance part of it, but meaning like you're hitting like just like a big, huge success in a TV show and a movie at the same time to bring you to both like Emmy and Oscar gold. Though he didn't get the Emmy, obviously, the True Detective.
I will say though, my little sad moment in this category is that Clarence Malick didn't make it in. I mean, we'll kind of talk more about Sing Sing when we get to Best Picture, I think.
I got my issue having seen Sing Sing recently about his Best Supporting Actor nom that did not happen.
But what I will say though is that Clarence Macklin did get a nomination today. He co-wrote Sing Sing, so he did get that nom,
which is this feels very similar to
we'll get to it
to Barbie last year.
Yeah,
just in terms of people trying to be like, but still she got a producer nom.
It's not the same.
I know that's what I mean. Is like it's a similar thing there.
And I mean, so if I was going to take out anyone from this category to put him in, I probably would have went with Edward Norton. I would have taken him out because he is great in that movie, but I don't think he has really much to do besides like his little speech at the end that obviously did not make an impact on Dylan.
I disagree on that, but I get your point. If I'm taking him out, or if I'm taking anyone out, I've only seen 3 of the 5 performances. That will be fixed by Saturday, then it will be 4 of the 5. But as much as I love Honora, your Borisov has to do a lot of face acting and not a ton of dialogue, which I get that's partly why he probably got the nomination, but I'd probably put him in over Yura Borisov, personally.
Nonsense, I tell you. I mean, I've seen all 5 of those films, and I would even take out Guy Pearce. Not gonna lie,
I haven't watched Brutalist yet, so I can't even say anything.
Just because, like, he does come. Like, there are a couple, like, maybe 2 scenes that work, but to me, I didn't think he was like a major standout in that film. But then again, it's The Brutalist, so I think they were just trying.
I love Guy Pearce in The Brutalist. I'd take Guy Pearce out, and I put Chris Hemsworth in from Furiosa.
I would actually agree with that.
That would never happen.
Chris Hemsworth should have gotten Furiosa deserved more love in this.
That would never happen. All right, can't wait to talk about the successes of The Substance.
I know. All right, moving on to the Best Supporting Actress, and now it's corrected because I was just doing duplicate and I realized oopsies.
Okay.
But Best Supporting Actress, we had Monica Barbaro from A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande from Wicked, Felicity Jones from The Brutalist. Ooh, we got something to talk about with that one. Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. I have an issue with that bottom one being a Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah, that's category fraud. That's category fraud through and through.
Because if anything, she may not be the title character, but she's lead, and the title character is a supporting. Just gotta tell you that.
100%.
Like, yeah, everything she's doing, one can make the determination of everything she's doing is in service of Emilia Perez. But at the same time, it's like, it's not Emilia's story as much. It's everything that Emilia does that affects her. Exactly. So it's all about her and her experience.
And she had the most screen time. But then again, it goes to that's what she was campaigning in. And the Academy could have voted for... The Academy could have voted for her in Best Actress, but they still stuck with what she was campaigning with, which was supporting.
That's what studios do. Studios pick what the what.
Remember when Lakeith Stanfield got nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Judas and the Black Messiah, and even he
Daniel Kaluuya.
But even Lakeith was like, I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, he's like, I'm the lead. But yeah,
I will say though, like from the last 2, so obviously supporting actor and supporting actress, I went 4 for 5 on both of them. Actually, nope, I lied. I only went 4 for 5 because who I did not put in was Monica Barbaro, who I thought was great. But to me, she just doesn't have that much screen time. But I'm going to keep saying it. Everyone that was nominated was deserving today.
See, I haven't seen it. You haven't seen a complaint on it. The thing is, she Yes, Caro said 100% correct on Saldana. So what she's able to do with that limited screen time is why she got nominated.
Judi Dench won an Oscar for 8 minutes of screen time.
Exactly.
I want to hear about running time.
And who?
Anne Hathaway.
Manchester by
12
the
minutes there. Yeah, exactly.
Manchester by the Sea. Who was that? Who won? Was that Carey Mulligan who won for Manchester by the Sea?
No. Manchester by the Sea was Casey Affleck, and it was.
I'm talking about the
Michelle Williams for
Thank
Best
you,
Supporting
Michelle Williams.
Actress.
That's what I was. Yes, I couldn't remember. They look alike.
She didn't win.
No, she won. I'm pretty sure she won.
No, Michelle Williams hasn't won an Oscar. She's only just the biggest.
Maybe it was nominated. I just remember there was a whole hullabaloo back then about when she was nominated because of how little screen time she has. I'm like, that's what
you're probably thinking of Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans because she should have been supporting and she was lead.
No. She was not the lead in Fabelman. She was supporting.
Oh, Viola.
I know,
won that
but
year.
she was nominated for
That's
lead.
Right. Viola won that year.
But no, I remember the hullabaloo about the limited screen time of Michelle Williams in
it happens.
Manchester by the Sea.
Talking about like, hey, they were able to make a lot of impact with a little bit of screen time.
Yes.
But I will say she was worthy of that because that little screen time she was in was great. My biggest thing is I understand why let me make sure I say her name right. Isabella Rossellini. I personally think Conclave is the most over fucking rated movie of this year.
Disagree.
That's a great way to describe that.
That is not.
Personally, I don't think it's a bad movie. But she's only saying that because Better Man isn't nominated. Fuck yeah, exactly. No, but to me, I think this is more of a legacy nomination for her because I don't remember what she did in this movie to stand out besides being the only female in it.
You don't remember that empowering speech when she called out the fucking popes on their bullshit? Are you insane?
I just remember her being like, here's my computer, you can look up the information.
No. She basically calls out the Catholic in that scene. She basically calls out the Catholic Church for their treatment of women where they are supposed to be seen and not heard. It's why
she does a lot of face acting.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, who happened to be using the same thing against your voice.
I said I understand. I understand why he is nominated. I just prefer
but it works here, man.
No, it does work here. But also, there's that whole monologue where it essentially calls out the Catholic Church, just because women are supposed to be seen and not heard in a lot of Catholic views, and so on and so forth. That was great because if you didn't know that was a double entendre speech, you're an idiot.
She's in almost every scene, normally, like right on the edge in the background,
in the corner, not speaking. Is my point.
Exactly.
But that's the point she's making in that. She's just had.
Like I said, it's well deserved. I think. I think all of these are. I thought if you got to the second half of The Brutalist, what is this person saying? Is awesome. Juicy PG rating. It is. It is very interesting that movie is PG.
Felicity Jones is awesome in The Brutalist.
If you got to the second half.
So let's talk about this controversy, shall we?
What controversy? It's supporting actress, and
no. Wait till we get to Best Actor. Wait till we get to Best Actor.
It works for both.
It does.
It really does.
So let's dive into it for Best Actor because I think it affects
their
more. Because I will say I don't think Felicity has a chance at winning this award. I still think it's between Zoe and Ariana, and I think it's Zoe's to lose.
I'm confused what this controversy is. I'm just
talking about the AI.
Oh no, okay, that's okay.
We'll get to it.
What do you mean we'll get to it? We're in the category right now.
We're saving it for Best
because
Actor.
I don't think she has a chance to. I don't think she has a chance to win.
I'm not looking at any of this as like let's turn it into sports. I'm just talking about how I like the choice or I don't like the choice. Saying something's good.
This isn't turning into sports. It's just bringing up something that's being talked about.
It's fun. But I don't know, Matt. What did you think of this category?
I did not have I've seen now 4 out of the 5 nominated performances. I like I said up top, have my issue with Zoe Saldana being nominated as the best supporting instead of lead.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is personally. I think until I see The Brutalist, in my opinion, this is Ariana Grande's trophy to lose. I love Monica Barbaro in this, but it's between her and Saldana, but I think she has the edge.
Interesting. See, I just don't think she has the edge
listen.
because she's too new as an actress.
That doesn't mean shit. Look at Ariana DeBose, who did nothing but stage performances before West Side Story.
That is true. That is true. But I do think Zoe did give
musicals get when you are a performer, when it comes to nominations for musicals, especially in supporting actress, they seem to get a nice little boost when it comes to voting. So I'm factoring that into it all. That's all.
We shall see. We shall see.
Okay, I guess my thoughts on some of that stuff.
Go ahead.
I mean, if you're going to just talk about it from a purely like, everything's a competition, all like every art is against each other. I mean, I think it's Saldana's to lose there just because I think that's going to be, if Amelia Perez it doesn't actually win a lot of categories, I think that will be one that will be like the big one it's given, perhaps.
Can I just say something real quick? All right. I've been saying the title of the movie wrong the entire time, and I'm pretty sure Jeff just said it the correct way because I've been saying Amelia Perez.
That's the same thing. That's what he said.
Nope, Jeff, say it because you said it right.
Amelia Perez. It's just like saying it a little differently because it has that accent over the E.
Yeah, it's just the
I've heard a couple people.
We're just American. That's our issue.
I've heard a couple people say it a little bit differently, and I was like, either they have a speech impediment and they're saying it wrong, or
it's everybody's regional accent.
It's a whole accent thing. Don't worry about it.
Maybe it is. Okay, just curious.
You're overthinking it.
I am. I always do. You guys know me.
All right, moving on to the Best Actress category. We have Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez. Should be an supporting. Mikey Madison for Nora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. I have seen 3 of these performances.
I want to note something really quick that I learned today that I just thought was really cool. And that's I have the ability to see I'm Still Here, and I just still have to actually sit and watch it. My attention to not look at my phone and whatnot, so I can pay attention to it.
Is it on?
No, I just have a thing.
Review.
I got a thing that I was given.
Okay.
I gotta check it out.
I think I have the same thing now.
I think it's really cool that Fernanda Torres is the second woman from Brazil to ever be nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress. The first, her mom, Fernanda Montenegro. That's awesome. That's cool. That's just a really cool thing. That's really sweet.
It is.
That is. I do love that. And I will say, I went 5 for 5 here predicting them. And the only film I haven't seen out of this bunch, though, is I'm Still Here. But after her Golden Globe speech, I was like, she may get in real quick. I made some last minute changes and I threw her in there, and I'm happy I did. I haven't seen the film, but from everyone I've heard who has seen it, they say she's great in it.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So I'm curious. I think this category is completely
wide open.
I think it's wide open. I think it can go any way, honestly. I do think Demi Moore may have a sliver of a hair above everyone else, but then again, I don't know. I really have no idea who's going to take this.
I'd love to see Demi Moore win, man. I'd love to see it. That would be so awesome. That would just be cool. That would be cool. And it's just, I saw someone note this, just tweeting about it, and how the whole, misogynistic ageism and all the different themes and whatnot, and body dysmorphia, whatever the body dysmorphia, and all the extreme ways people will try to go just to make themselves seem appealing in Hollywood. It's someone tweeted this, and I guess it was something that I had thought, but I never knew how to like verbalize it. But it was like, it's clear that it's the sort of thing that's hitting a lot deeper with a lot more people in Hollywood, men and women, because of a lot of those themes. It's I think that's cool. And that it has to be in just such a gross movie, and
it's I mean, that's why
and
I'm
she's
so happy.
good.
She's so
She's
good
never
at it.
won an award until the Golden Globes, which have no bearing on anything. They're a joke. Just like all awards, basically. They're just like they're a non-entity. They're just a place where celebrities get drunk and hang out and whatnot. And then it just happens to film stuff. But like she got to go up there, and people were like, "Hey, you were really good in something." It's the first time she ever got to just hear a bunch of people say that at once. That was cool.
I would say it was awesome. Like out of the 5 nominees, 4 of them are first-time nominees, which I thought was awesome. Cynthia Eriva's the only one that's been previously nominated for.
That's most acting
Harriet,
categories.
I think. Yeah, most of them. What is it? I think I saw like Jeff, like you tweeted something about it. Like 13 out of the 20 are like first-time nominees.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
13 out of the 20 of them haven't been nominated before. Like, there's always like the Academy has had that issue of like they're gonna nominate things because they nominated those people before, and they want to keep telling them they're really good, as opposed to like. So it's like case in point, like not saying he wasn't deserving of it or whatever, but it's like, ooh, a lot of people thought that like Denzel could get in as a nomination for Gladiator 2, and he rocks in Gladiator 2. Don't get me wrong, but it's cool. They were like, yeah, he's great. He doesn't need this sort of thing here, because all it is just an award is just a way to tell people, like, recommend you should check it out because we think it's really good.
Yeah.
And they're saying he doesn't need to have another one of his accolades. He's great in it. Let's make sure that Jeremy Strong got in there. Would be nice if they had done the same thing and did to Edward Norton and say he doesn't need this. Let's put Clarence Macklin in there. But like it happens here. Anyways.
And let's also mention that we got our first like openly like trans gay actress.
First trans actress, yes.
Which I think is amazing.
That's very cool. On its own, it's very cool. She's very good in the movie. I have a lot of issues with the movie. I know a lot of people have way more issues even than I do with it. Like
I have issues. I just watched that. I thought it was fine. It's good.
I don't think it's good. I admired it when I first watched it because I'm like, wow, this is different. And then the more I thought about it and the more I see other people, and I'm like, it's making me understand more how I really thought about it at the time than just, ooh, I kind of admire this. I don't like it. I think that Zoe is great, and I think that Carla is great.
The movie itself is not.
Yeah, no. Concept is really. I think the concept is great.
The story. I don't
even know if it's great.
I don't even know if there's a.
That's intriguing. That's what I meant to say. I think that the
story, not
the plot. Yeah, the plot itself, like the whole thing of the movie is intriguing to me. The musical elements are what kill it for me. That's the biggest thing.
There's only one song I even like. Have as a simple earworm, and that's the
penis and vagina.
Penis and vagina.
No. It was the conversation with the doctor about if they're a wolf, if they're a wolf, they'll stay a wolf. That
I don't remember it at all. I don't know.
But can I also mention though, this is the first time in almost 50 years that all of the actresses nominated for Best Actress are also in Best Picture films, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, cool. Yeah, ever since Annie Hall. Annie Hall, I think it was 47 years. That's what someone said. Yeah. That's cool. Like, look, there's a lot of like cool little things. There's a lot of issues with some, but when people are really talking about some things, but like, yeah.
Same to Jonathan. Those are the only two things. And Carla. I think Carla is deserving as well. But
I think it's interesting, and
I don't know who I put in over Carla, honestly, so I can rock with that. It's just.
I mean, there were a couple. Like I think, actually, yeah. I mean, you could have gone with Nicole Kidman, possibly. Angelina Jolie was shut out. No one saw that movie, and I did not see it, and I just had no desire to.
I saw it. It's good. It's not as interesting or compelling as Pablo Larraín's other film that it evokes with Jackie and Spencer, but it does look beautiful. It is gorgeous to look at.
And it did get the cinematography. I think that was its only nom.
It is gorgeous, so I get that.
So, quick question: have any of you guys seen "I'm Still Here"?
Nope.
No, we talked.
We already talked about that. Yeah, so
we haven't.
I think that's our homework for this weekend is to all try to see that. At least before.
Too many homework assignments this weekend.
But I think
Of
that's
course.
definitely something we all should see before the night occurs. But
I
yeah,
got
no,
till
I mean,
March. I got till March. That's all that matters.
My
Yeah.
screening, my screener is accessing for the next like few days, so
there you
I'll
go.
get
So you
to
got
it.
time. You got time.
When I say I need to just have my attention on it to like so I can make sure I'm reading the subtitles, that's so dumb because I've watched like 4 Jackie Chan movies from the 80s that are not English
No,
in a
I'm the
row
same
just
way. I
now.
had to pay full attention. I watch everything with subtitles anyways, but
Yeah.
like you got to pay more attention when obviously it's in a
Mhm.
different language.
Obviously, yeah. That's the world of the scrolling, generation that we are now.
Yep.
What else can we talk about? Just Cynthia Erivo. Yeah, she's cool. I think it's cool now that there's another
Naomi Scott wasn't gonna. Here's the issue with 2 of the names you just named. They were in a horror film. The Academy does not give a fuck about
Well,
horror.
so wasn't Demi Moore.
yeah.
Yeah.
Demi Moore got in and I saw someone say like this is for Mia Goth and Pearl. This is for Toni Collette in Hereditary. This is for
It is,
But point is, they got the horror.
They got
their
one through.
They
They
got their
tricked people
one.
for one, and hopefully it'll open their mind to other things.
Right.
But like, yeah, there were some great choices there. I love June Squibb and Thelma. I just recommended my mom watch it earlier today because
Yes.
she's going to be watching. I have a movie night with my grandparents, so her mom and dad, and then also her
She's in Ohio
sister
right now.
and brother-in-law. And but my grandpa is someone who on top of just the pure undying hatred he has for most people in his heart, the conservative he is from the Midwest,
Yep.
I had to think of something to recommend that if he would watch, then it could be okay because he would be in the room. He won't watch something that says the F word.
I'm trying to think if they definitely swear in
So
Thelma.
I said Thelma, and I said the only issue is that it has strong language, but it is PG-13. He doesn't allow rated R stuff. So PG-13, it's a whole thing. The whole thing.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you.
It's so kind of you. But to Jonathan's comment below that, though, is it really does show how strong of a year the category was for Best Actress. Honestly, for the last couple of years, that has been, I think, one of the strongest categories is Best Actor. So it just goes to show that women are getting stronger roles to play in film, which obviously makes my heart feel warm because I am a woman. So I love to see that women are getting not only great roles to play, but are able to tell great stories that impact the world.
Yeah, it just sucks that it came in a year with a lot of subpar movies.
I don't know about that.
A lot of the movies this year were just fine.
I really like a lot, but I watched a whole lot more than either of you guys for the year. So every year is a good movie year if you dig around enough.
I completely agree because I will say for Best Picture.
I'm talking about for the general viewing audience. This is
any movie that goes out in public is for the general viewing audience.
I agree with that statement, but I'm just talking about like the general viewing audience, what they will actually take the time to see. That is what I'm referring to. So
they'll take the time to see anything if they look around.
All right, moving on to Best Actor. We have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave. Ray Fiennes, sorry. For Conclave. So I got hooked. I was watching.
At least he didn't say Ralph. So
listen, Harloff made a thing with his last name and freaking Clark Wolf being on, and that's why my head went there. And Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Sebastian Stan, welcome surprise, because because he was playing Donald Trump, a lot of people felt like he was not going to get the nomination, any love when it came to nominations. There were PR people for the Variety's Actors on Actors who would not let their clients do a sit down with him because
it's called obeying in advance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was all very silly when that was going on there. But
well, you know what?
I think it's awesome that he got nominated because he was for just a movie because he was so good in both his choices. I would have preferred if it was actually for a different man because that would be a really just interesting, cool choice. for them to have been able to like prop up outside of makeup. But it's cool that he got in.
Yeah.
It's cool, and for such an interesting performance, it's not just like it's not parody and it's not mimicking.
Yeah.
Exactly. I will say I went 4 for 5 here because I was between Daniel Craig and Sebastian Stan, and I thought the safer bet
I'm so
was
sad about it.
Daniel Craig, so
I
I
did-
went with him.
I
But
didn't think
so
Craig was
sad
getting
about it.
nominated.
Yeah.
I didn't think
there
that the
was-
queer version of Jeff was going to get nominated.
He was like right there, like he was right up there in the mix. And I just think that would have also been a really cool one too. Like he was so good. He was like probably my number 1 or 2 actor of the year for that.
Mhm.
But
I gotta say though, I think the whole controversy with Sebastian Stan like coming out and saying like, yeah, no one let their PR. Everyone's PR agent was like, no, you cannot be part. Like, we don't want to do the.
They helped him, honestly.
I think that it was kind of like a grassroots campaign. It kind of helped him because also when he won the Golden Globe for a different man, he came out and said like he shouted out The Apprentice. And however you feel about Donald Trump, like you have like if you watch this movie, it's a fucking good movie, and he is great in it because, like you said, Jeff, like he's not just like doing like an impersonation or anything like that. Like he throws himself into the role, and he gave 2 great performances this year. So I'm glad he was at least nominated for one of them.
I am shocked that one he got nominated for.
I am surprised that was the one he got nominated for.
Oh, really? Because I think he is better in this one, so I think it makes sense.
So a lot of people felt like if he got nominated, it would be for a different man because of the Trump of it all.
Yeah.
But I think that, Oscar's gonna Oscar. They'll always look at if someone had good performances in a year and one of them is based on a real person, they'll be like, oh, look at that. Look how good they are at being the other person.
That
so
always
I think
happens.
that's what in retrospect, we
biopics.
should have seen that coming based on all of this and like the recent surge of people being okay talking about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Oh, hold on.
You're making it sound way more dramatic than it is.
It's not. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. We'll finish with that one.
All right.
I do want to talk about since I finally saw it before my Ohio State Buckeyes won the national championship on Monday. I finally got the chance to watch Sing Sing. I finally got the chance to watch Sing Sing, and boy, that movie rips.
It's so good.
So sucked in.
I like it more now than when I watched it.
I was
one of those types.
The downside is I was having to, because we were setting up for having people. I was at my parents' house and helping set up for having people over, and I was having to just keep pausing it and unpausing it, pausing it and unpausing it. It was also Inauguration Day, and the Blurs were doing a live stream, so I had to pause to tune in and watch that and support my older brothers. But man, once you get into that film, it is just so beautiful, heartbreaking and heartwarming, and just an amazing time. And it sucks that like Coleman is having these great roles, and like he's getting the love he deserves for it, but the films themselves are not, it seems like. So
that is true. But
is this like Rustin? And do you think that Rustin didn't get as much awards as it should have? I thought that Rustin got exactly what it should have gotten, which was he's great. Everything else doesn't need to be.
It's more than just Rustin, Jeff. But
okay,
but at least he got the back-to-back year nomination, which was awesome.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah,
and that was another big thing too, because I think that was like I believe the last person that did that was a black man, was Denzel Washington.
Yeah. By the way, he shouldn't have been nominated for Rustin. He should have been nominated for Color Purple. Just saying.
In supporting versus actor, you know what? Maybe
he would have had a better. I say that because I feel like he would have had a better chance of winning in that. Mm-hmm. That's why I make that argument.
I don't remember who won that year.
It was last year, and it was Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah, no.
So he would not have won, unfortunately.
No, he would not. He wouldn't have.
He wouldn't have, because Downey was getting a.
Would have had arguably a lesser chance.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been a Domingo fan for years, so like that just.
No,
Domingo's awesome.
I mean, we all love him in Euphoria. Like we've been with this dude.
What's that?
Yeah, shut up. We've been with this dude for a while, and no, I'm very happy for him. He gives a great performance, and the movie's very like cathartic, and it really like gives you kind of hope that what the arts can kind of do for you.
As someone who was in the arts as a high schooler, I can say it helped keep me out of a lot of dark places. So when it comes to movies about the arts or making art, they hit harder for me a lot of the time, and this was one of them. So, yeah.
No, great performance. And then also like Timothy Chalamet, he's embodying a real life person that none of us know much about. But the fact that he's able to do his own singing, his own voice, performing live, I think goes a long way for him. And this is, his second nomination. If he was to win, he would be the youngest actor to win, I believe. So, but he's gone 2 nominations, and he's the youngest person to get 2 nominations like so early in his career, besides James Dean and I believe someone else.
I was about to say, wasn't this Timmy's second?
This is his second.
Yeah. So yeah.
But what I was trying to get at was
no, sorry. I thought you were talking about.
He's the youngest person to get 2 nominations.
Yeah. Sorry, you're good. That's on me. My bad. Brain fart.
I haven't seen it unknown. I can't speak to that, but yeah, doing an impression is really cool.
But he does make the character his own.
It's not an impression.
Like I said, I haven't seen it, so I'm joking.
Yeah,
I can't comment on it.
When you see it, I mean, we'll circle back when we've all seen these movies and definitely talk about it, and we can make final predictions. I think.
There, Jeff, you can watch Complete Unknown, and you can watch a Complete Unknown. February 8th, it looks like, is what supposedly
great. 2 weeks. Sure, I can wait that long. I mean, I'll see.
Or you can just go to the theaters tomorrow and see it because it's in theaters.
No, I'm so tired. I haven't gone to the movies since Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Shut up. But no, okay, let's get to the elephant in the room. It's Adrian Brody.
It's not I don't know why you
don't call it. It's not the elephant in the room.
It's not an elephant, but it has to be discussed, guys. It has to be discussed. It does give a
Paige. Yes,
you seem very upset about this.
You are very upset. Calm down. I am going to.
You're making me anxious.
Yes. Let me talk. I will talk about this next, and we'll talk a little bit calmer. I have talked to a producer that I know. I've talked to several actors that I know, and I'm talking about people who are in the industry. I've talked to a sound editor I know, and I've talked to someone who works at the Cleveland Film Commission. The majority are on the side of this should not be. This will probably hurt his nomination or hurt his chances of winning.
It will or it won't?
It will.
Okay.
It will probably hurt his chances of winning, and some feel that he shouldn't be nominated because of that.
See, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, at least.
Let me finish. Then you have the producer who's like, when you're working with such a microscopic budget like that, I understand why it was done. However, you need, while it's not here. One of the actors I talked to, I'll say it right now, Winston A. Marshall, because he's talked about it on Roka's shit, he's talked about it on his own channel. He compared it as being an actor to taking PEDs as an athlete, because part of the reason people, it's similar to the point that actors learning how to do a dialect, how to learn those lines so they sound natural, is part of what helps sell you as an actor, or sell you as that character. Now, if you're getting help from AI, then it's almost like, even if it's not a massive part, it's still selling a false bill of goods. So he's like, and if I remember correctly, Winston has a SAG vote. So he's like, when it comes to SAGs, I think he's like, I wouldn't vote for him. So he's like, I just toss it away and look at somebody else, probably Timmy. And I've talked to a couple critics. They most agree. It's like my dad and I are on the side of, between the AI art that they did and this, it's one of those things of he just toss it away at that point. You in my personal eyes, disqualified. I don't care how small it is. It is what it is. But we don't know how the majority of the people who actually have votes that are going to affect this feel. And Jay, when I was talking to him earlier, brought up the fact that this is what a lot of actors were fighting against. Because if he's going to be nominated for the performance, it should be wholly his performance and unassisted outside of how they do it in the editing room in terms of cutting a scene up.
I agree, because I think, because my whole thing was he did give a damn good performance, but like the AI wasn't necessary. Like, you didn't. I understand they wanted his accent to sound as authentic as possible, but would anyone besides Hungarian people really notice? Like, no. And so, like, to me, I don't think he should be disqualified. He gave a damn good performance, but I do think it should hurt his chances. But don't get me wrong. Unfortunately, AI is inevitable, and I guess even Amelia Perez
used it too, and
used it as well. But at least they aren't like publicly talking about it like the film's editor did.
I will say the producer I talked to straight up said, "Is like, oh, it sounds like somebody set up a gotcha piece." I was like,
yeah, that's exactly what happened there, man. Like, you're really talking about all this in terms of like sports stuff, as opposed to just like, you know, the ethics of it and this, that, and the other thing. And here's what I'll say: I find it to be no, yeah, I find the pretty absurd to complain now about vocal blending to any degree. This being, you know, particularly during a 2-minute ADR piece where it's not even Adrian Brody on screen for the most part actually doing that, where it happens to have that blend, which was used with the editor's own voice, so it wasn't pulled from, you know, like other things for the just that part. At least that's my understanding.
So I read the interview before this. What they did is they had Felicity and Adrian end up recording the lines again. The editor fed the editor fed his voice in, and then the idea AI was to pick up the Hungarian tonalities and apply it to their voices.
Yes, it's blending his voice to their stuff.
That's sorry, I took that literally as his, but yeah.
It's blending blending the sounds from his voice, from him making the sound though. And that is just that sort of vocal blending, that sound blending happens all the time. All the time. That is everywhere. They just don't talk about it the way this guy did.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's a big deal. Oh, but if Timmy sang live or whatever, as opposed to it being ADR, so many people in the past have had the voice that's just kind of like mapped over them or something.
I mean, Rami Malek, he didn't sing.
Right.
Like,
so, but like in that respect, like
but
it's annoying. Like they just happen to use an AI program that, so the bad ethics of it probably goes to just a general embrace of AI there, as well as it took less time. We were able to do this thing here, so it meant that it used up way more energy too, or whatever. And that's all. Obviously, that's where the ethics really go. I think the actual idea of blending voices that they created for the sake of the movie with that there in order to enhance the movie as a whole, if you want to talk about, I think that's fine overall. That's just part of making the product. Otherwise, you're saying like sound mixing doesn't matter to any degree. So that's my feeling on that. I think that the AI generated like thing where they then drew AI, they generated 3 images and then they hand drew based off of that. It's like you could have Googled and then done the same thing. Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Like that's dumb. That's
just
so
wasn't
dumb.
necessary.
That's stupid. I don't think any of that's disqualifying enough. And there's a way that people can look at that as like, oh man, like just for the sake of giving it any attention at all, it's like cut it down the middle. Like you can't do that. Well, we have to be all or nothing on it. And I do think that it's complicated. I'm very anti-AI, but at the same time, I'm trying to see, what is the most ethical version of it, of an unethical thing. And if you ain't first, you're last. It's still unethical. But I don't know. It's like we're not the ones in power that make the decision. It's clear they're going to be utilizing it, so we can continue to try and
Yep.
talk about it right now as is. And maybe
Exactly.
that plays into its hands. Whatever.
Yep, we'll see.
It doesn't disqualify from any respect for me.
Yeah, no, I don't think he should be disqualified because I do think like
He's my winner. He's my choice. He's my choice.
And honestly, he probably is going to win. I probably would say he's the front runner.
Guessing, but I love his work. I just think that he's so affecting, and he's just so good at playing artistically talented men that were able to make it through the horrors of the Holocaust. He's so good at it. He's done it before, and he did it again.
Like Nikki Glaser said that she couldn't say out loud, he really does owe his career to Baby Hitler, which is fucked up to say, but no, he probably will win, and deservedly so. But I do think the AI thing was completely unnecessary. I think the editor talking about it, I think everyone behind that film,
it was as someone said, it was like, it was like the kind of thing that would like make Harvey Weinstein blush.
Yeah, it was definitely the people behind
the king of those kind of things.
Yeah. The people behind the film were definitely like, "What the fuck, bro? Like, shut the fuck up. Just talk about the editing in the movie." But you know,
Brady was like, "No, like these performances are their performances. This thing here was the same thing as all other vocal blending. It just was the program that was used. That's the problem." The idea is like, you cut the corner by using this program that uses up more energy, even if you blend it. It's annoying. The whole thing's annoying. It's exhausting to continue to talk about it. We're in a world that's on fire right now, and everything that we see, there's something wrong with it in some way, shape, or form. I'm tired of always complaining about things.
Yeah.
Let's go to Best Picture.
Best Director.
Yes.
Best Director.
I know Paige is about to get all hot and excited, so
I am.
Jeff, I'll let you say the first name. I'll let you read this category off, actually.
Jacques Audiard, I want to say.
Audiard,
because he's French. He's French. He's never gone to Mexico before he made that movie. He did a really good job with his directorial perspective, or lack thereof, with it. Emilia Perez, I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying it any differently. I don't know.
You're not saying it.
You didn't say it differently that time. You did one time.
Emilia Perez, whatever, man. Get off my back.
Right.
Say the nominations.
There's Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbet or Corbett. I want to say Corbet. I wasn't looking at any of the other televised stuff when his name was said out loud. The Brutalist, Coralie Fargeau, I believe. For The Substance. Fargeau. Oh yeah, because there's no U in there or whatever. The Substance, and then James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. I haven't seen A Complete Unknown.
Yes.
I think Sean Baker.
Just
awesome. I love what he did.
We didn't want to see your full face, not your.
No, man, I'm spinning around. I've been moving around a lot. Like I've been doing that, saying hello to the cat, and you get to. Here's the thing: you want to hear what I have to say. You don't care about what I look like.
We like seeing you too, buddy. But continue.
Jeez. Sean Baker, I love Anora. That's a really cool choice. I think Brady Corbet does some incredible work with The Brutalist, especially just, not even going to talk about especially considering the size of the budget, because then talks a little bit about the AI thing or whatever. But doesn't matter how big the budget is; it's what you do with it. And just it's so sprawling, but also really intimate, and it feels huge. In a way, everything I'm saying, it a little bit feels a little bit by Oppenheimer, where it's like Oppenheimer does a lot of work where everything is like a lot of big close-ups in the 70 millimeter IMAX screenings there, but it's just people talking in a room. And so there are these small things happening, a conversation between people, even if it's talking about big topics. Those are more like physically like real big topics. Here, they're more theoretically big topics, but also, political. It's really interesting just the way he's able to kind of manage and handle all of that. So I love it. If you couldn't tell. Who else was nominated again? Oh, that's right. Not Denis.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yep.
Not Luca.
not Luca, not
the energy of challengers,
Edward
man.
Berger for Conclave, which I will say, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that movie, but I mean, I think it was kind of a shock that I think it's a snub that him and Denis did not get in. Those I think are the two biggest snubs of the ones that at least we're talking about tonight. But I guess it just goes to show that the directing category was a really tough one to get into this year.
Justice for Mike Cheslick, director of Hundreds of Beavers.
No justice.
Talking about the idea of like, oh man, that's amazing what you were able to accomplish on such a budget.
But no,
Love
it's just like, I mean, I guess DGA went 5 for 5, I believe, if I'm correct. I could have just been completely wrong saying that.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I didn't know that the Oscar nominations were being announced until last night when like Matt messaged me about this.
Oh, nonsense, man. It's not why I took today off from work, but it was definitely it definitely helped. One of the reasons that I was like, oh, this kind of works out perfectly. But yeah, nope. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, how does one not watch Dune Part 2 and not think that this is a cinematic masterpiece? Like,
Someone
I just
pointed
don't know.
it out. I think that they're going to be that, and this may be right. They might be pulling a Lord of the Rings with this stuff.
Probably. I hope so. I mean, at this point, if he doesn't get nominated for Dune Messiah, then I don't know what the Academy has against him, because I don't know what you have to do to show that you're a brilliant and talented director. Like this, I mean, just look, it got 4 like Tex awards. So I just don't know what this film didn't do that wasn't deserving of it. But like you said, I think they're going with the Lord of the Rings style and hopefully giving it to him for Dune Messiah. But at this point, if you're gonna, like, he needs to win for Dune Messiah then at this point.
Also, I think we finally got our 10th Oscar nomination for a woman. I'm just completely pivoting. I'm moving away from Dune 2 because it's making me sad to talk about. It's making me sad to talk about Denis not being recognized.
Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, let's talk about that, because that's a huge
thing. That's awesome. That's cool. Like, okay, that's just a cool movie to be nominated for that, man. That's cool. I mean, that's what I mean. Like I like the direction the Academy has been heading in terms of like, hey, if we're the ones that everyone thinks is the end all be all thing, then we need to move with the times, and that's awesome. Coralie Farge is such a crazy choice. It's a wild movie that just, I love it. I love the choice. It's awesome.
I do too. I mean, if she was to win, oh my God. Like, I think that would be like a big fuck you to the Academy, and just being like, this is what Hollywood does to women, pretty much.
I really got to watch Revenge.
It turns them into their worst nightmare because of what you guys all expect them to be. Like, to me, I love this nomination. I'm so happy that the Academy is honoring her here, because it also got screenplay, which is amazing. And no, I'm just so happy because the movie is beautifully shot. And yeah, I couldn't be happier. I mean, I'm just so happy a woman got in here, and I'm so happy that it was her. Like you said, Jeff, this is the fact that it's very sad to say that this is the 10th woman. Like
the 97th Academy Awards.
Yeah. Out of 97 shows, there's only been 10 nominated. So, I mean, at least we're seeing an uprising. Last year, we got a woman nominated as well. So, give us more. Give them more credit. I mean, she proved right here that I can't wait to see what she does next after this, because goddamn, she's a great director.
Yeah, like I said, I really want to watch Revenge. I bought it a while ago. I have Shudder. I just need to check it out.
It's on Shudder. Then I need to watch it.
I think that was like the one that like distributed it. If I believe, I'll look it up. But it's clear she has like this eye for taking some like classic, crazy, like B or low budget 70s 80s horror concept, and trying to like put it new with like a lot of feminist themes to it. With Revenge there, it's the whole like this woman's attacked and then she goes on revenge to seek them all down, very Straw Dogs and whatnot. And then this, of course, being just like, oof, just a lot of those goopy, monster-y things, like, not necessarily otherworldly, like From Beyond or Reanimator or whatever, but just a lot of that body double stuff that's all cool and crazy. Just her own interpretation of all these like classic genre concepts. It's really cool. Like I said, I was watching it and all these crazy sounds were happening while I was watching on my laptop while Paulina was sitting next to me playing her Switch. And she's like, "What am I hearing?" And I said, "It's okay. It's French."
Well, that's why I also wish that it got a sound nomination and it didn't.
Good
because
goop. Good goop.
Good goop. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that would
exactly.
have been great. I think the sound is well deserving in that movie. I mean, no, she did a great job. I also think Sean Baker, I think this is his first directing nomination, correct?
Because he didn't get nominated for Red Rocket.
Or for the Florida Project.
Nothing was nominated for Red Rocket. The only other time that he had a feature nominated for something was
Florida Project,
Willem Dafoe for the Florida Project.
Yeah. He didn't even get screenplay for that?
Nope.
No.
Also, who's ready to pay for a $50 version of this movie?
I already pre-ordered it. Me.
I'm gonna use gift cards, or like I'll just get it at the 50% off.
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting
I
for
fucked
the
up.
Criterion sale.
I jumped the gun. I was too excited, guys. I was too excited.
I never pre-order things. I never pre-order things. Yeah, you can cancel it.
Yeah, but then it's gonna be back ordered probably with.
So what? Like, are you?
But you wait for the Criterion
by that time, and you're gonna be sitting around. It'll probably be on Hulu by that point, and you'll be able to watch anyway because Neon has an exclusive distribution for streaming on Hulu.
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, so like, then in the meantime, you'll be able to save a little bit of money, still get it,
and then get it at half off.
Okay, maybe I'll do that then if I can cancel it. But Criterion
Use
will
your
be getting
brain, ma'am.
I jumped the gun because I was so excited because I love that movie, and I mean, I do think this race is between. I think it's more likely, probably Courbet's.
I honestly think this is a wide open race because I think this is the year that we go back to Best Director is the runner-up trophy.
Yeah,
I think so. Okay.
All 5 of these are nominated for Best Picture. It is a too close to call category because you can argue for literally every single one of these. Well, Mangold has the weakest argument. I will say that, but Mangold has the weakest argument. He's there in my opinion, and I love.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what he did besides bring a true real life person's story to life.
But like the other 4,
can't speak to it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But the other 4, I haven't seen Substance, but I've heard nothing but fantastic things from everyone I know who's watched it. So I'm just going along with the flow there. Brady Corbet, I've heard so many great things about The Brutalist. I'll be watching it on Saturday. But still, it's just, I've seen Amelia Perez. I've seen Sean Baker. I didn't care for Amelia Perez all that much. However, they got nominated. So
you gotta watch it.
Good for them.
I can see why, but I just
I can't.
I can't. I mean, the Academy. I'm wondering if the backlash on Amelia Perez. I mean, it's not hurting it because the film just got nominated for 13 awards. So
it's been surging since the Globes during voting when it was already happening. So,
well, Paige, to be fair, this wouldn't be the first time a Netflix movie got a fuck ton of nominations and nothing came of it. So,
I mean, I hope so because to me, this is.
Hey, all those movies that happened to before, they all deserved that recognition, man.
That's what I'm saying. 13
Power of the Dog. At least that got Best Director. That was cool.
Yeah, but like 13 nominations, the highest of the
entire
awards.
Group,
to me is fucking insane.
Roma
had the same thing, and it only
I know. I
didn't have 13.
I was saying
it had like 11 Page,
but still,
it was still the highest nominated film of that year. Is my
anyways, talking stats there. Look, movie's cool that they were nominated. What got nominated for Best Picture again?
Yeah.
Let's go do it, guys. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We have Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys,
Hell
and
yeah.
The Substance, and Wicked.
All right,
Okay.
can we talk about this now? Can we just talk about it immediately?
Can we talk about how Nickel Boys did not deserve this?
Oh, I was going to say I'm thrilled that it did,
I hate that it did.
I love it.
I haven't seen it.
Loved it.
Better Black stories were told this year.
I think that it's incredible.
I understand why it got nominated, but the way that the story was told bogged. The embargo's been up. I could have done a review. My press or my PR person asked for me to wait till week of release, and I saw it back in November. So I did not care for the way it was told. It only has an impact based off of the twist, which you could figure out so early on in the film. It is not a fantastic movie. It is a good, if not fine movie, or fine, if not good movie. But that was the least happy I was for a Best Picture nom. I would throw that out and put 4 other films in there before I even.
You prefer Amelia Perez as the Best Picture of all?
Honestly, yes. I liked that more.
That's unsettling.
Nickel Boys is
I
liked it about the same.
Nickel Boys, you're getting really angry about this. Nickel Boys is incredible. It's devastating that it didn't get a Best Cinematography nomination.
I'm surprised.
Thankfully, it didn't get a Best Cinematography nomination.
You're really getting angry about this, man. I just think it's cool that this art is out there in the world.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I went 8 for 10 on this category. The 2 I haven't seen are the 2 that got nominated, which was Nickel Boys, and I'm still here. So I have a screening for Nickel Boys, so I'm gonna have to watch it, I guess. But you can go see it. You can go see it tonight if you wanted to, Paige. And then about.
Yeah,
I mean, I could. I mean, I have it on my TV from film.
I watched it because it's on the independent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's on the
independent theater thing.
Yeah, that's why I'll watch it at some point. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, A24. I mean, I know we're talking about what got nominated, but I have to just bring up A24 dropped the fucking ball with Sing Sing. Everyone I know that saw it last year at TIFF were like, this is a Best Picture nomination and a winner. Like, this is like the best movie in ages. And A24 dropped the ball with its release strategy. And then it's like campaigning. I don't know what they thought re-releasing the movie this week was going to help it at all, because unfortunately it did nothing. But, at the end of the day, at least some great film, at least these other films, they were great. They were, to me, the 2 films that I didn't see that got nominated, which were Nickel Boys and I'm Still Here. To me, I had them in my top 15, like that, where I thought we were going to get nominated. So
it'd be cool if Coleman won Best Actor.
That would be cool.
It would be cool, man. I think that'd be awesome. Even if it's just like, hey, like, the more I think about it, the more, obviously I like it more. Even if there are like, 10 movies I like more than that one there. I think that would have been a really awesome movie to have as like a Best Picture nomination.
Me too, because it's so uplifting. And I feel like the fact that it's about the arts, about how the arts can rehabilitate you. Like that, to me, like that's like that message alone should have gone in, but it didn't. I mean, look, we got Amelia Perez, 13 nominations. Wicked, 10 nominations. The Brutalist, 10 nominations. A Complete Unknown, 8. Conclave, 8. Anora, 6. Dune Part 2, 5, I believe. The Substance, 5. And Nickel Boys got 2. And then I'm Still Here got 3, I think.
Maybe, I don't know. I think it's really cool that I'm another thing I'm happy about. I like that cinematography. There was like a real threat that Wicked was going to get a cinematography thing, and I'm so glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, I am glad
that didn't happen. A lot of people holding a lot of space for that. To me, I think some of that space can be shared with some better films.
But is there anything in here that you guys don't think is worthy of a Best Picture? Or
I already
you already said it. Nickel Boys. Anything for you, Jeff?
Wicked.
Wicked. I can't say that because, as I said, I can understand why it got nominated.
Okay.
I don't agree that it got nominated. Just like I can see why the artistic sensibilities or the attempt at artistic sensibilities abilities in Amelia Perez got it nominated. I don't think there really are any, like Jeff said. I was watching it and I was messaging Chance. I'm like, yo, I'm like 20 minutes into this. I'm like, I want it to end. And it is one of the few films where I kept checking how much time was left. And I'm like, this is.
I do that all the time. If I'm watching something at home, regardless of how good it is, but that's just me being fidgety.
Yeah,
all the time.
If a movie hooks me, I'm rarely ever looking at how much time is left unless I'm pausing it to go to the bathroom when I'm at home. So,
I would take away Wicked because I couldn't tell you what happened in it, and I watched it.
Got nominated due to performances.
I think it got nominated because it's just the story. Like
I feel like I want to smash my head into a wall if I'm being super dramatic about, like, you're talking about fraud in a category or whatever. I mean, like, all right, so the movie based on the musical with all the source information there, you want to not have Dune get nominated in that category there. Cool. Let's make sure that it is applied everywhere. So we give original score to the one based on the musical with all the pre-existing music.
I completely agree. I think that is so fucked up because, to me,
that is Taylor's version. Everything's just slightly different, so you could do it again.
Yeah, that and also Challenger's not
Challenger's not getting a nomination. I woke up.
I understand
my alarm, my phone alarm every morning is 10.
But yeah, no, I mean, not gonna lie, I would take out. I understand why Wicked's there.
I just want to point out, even though it's nominated for Best Picture, it did not get a Best Adapted Screenplay nomination, which I find very weird. If you're nominated for Best Picture, like A Complete Unknown did, Conclave did, Emilia Perez did, Sing Sing.
This is the best box office achievement.
Yeah, exactly. That is why it's there, and that's what I meant by it. Like, that's why it's there. But my other thing is, I mean, Emilia Perez. To me, that movie I don't think is a Best Picture contender because of I don't think it's that good of a movie. But obviously, it's hitting with the Academy voters. But my other one is that I guess it's just surging. I don't know what's in the water, but the Academy is loving A Complete Unknown. Like, loving it. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's like the best biopic I've ever seen, though.
I have no thoughts on it. I have no thoughts on that. I have no thoughts on I'm Still Here.
Yep, I haven't seen that one either. But
I think, look, I love Conclave. I think it rips. I think it rocks. I think that it could have also been about 10% more cunty, actually. I think maybe, but like I rewatched it. I rewatched it recently when I had some friends over, and we were like, "What should we watch?" And so that's what we chose. It works great watching it with like a group of friends who haven't seen it. It's so fun as you're just like really getting into it and like all the bitchiness and everything. Yeah. It's fun to just like laugh about it with a few people. It's fun to watch.
I guess my biggest question is for you guys. What do you think? Do you think this is an open category, or do you think
I do think for the time being it feels pretty open. I think that there's just a lot of really cool choices that all have like a way that you could say, I could see this being like a lot of people's feeling as the best of the year.
I agree.
I feel like it's going to come down to 3 films, and I feel like that's Nora the Brutalist and unfortunately Emilia Perez. I think those are the 3. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with 1, 2, 3.
I want them to split that preferential ballot bullshit. Let's get the substance through. Let's do it. Let's push.
If this substance won, guys, you're gonna have to look for me. I come to my apartment.
Conclave will win by virtue of the dad vote.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious. The preferential ballot, like I'm curious where things will fall. That's where I think Nora will rise through that ballot because I think a lot of people will have it up high. But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
exactly what I just said.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And I'm sorry.
That is literally what I just said, almost word for word.
No, it probably is between those 3, but who knows?
I think there's some really fun, interesting, daring choices for Best Picture. And also,
but it should go to Dune 2, right?
Dune 2 is awesome, man. Dune, can we listen? You don't watch wrestling, but there's something that they had in the character for Roman Reigns that made it like part of his whole tribal chief persona, and that's rather than the idea of giving people flowers at the end of their career or giving it, after the fact when they're gone. Do it now. Acknowledge me. Let's acknowledge
That
Dune
dude
2
slaps.
right now. Let's acknowledge. I acknowledge. Awesome
I
movie.
acknowledge.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Just a big budget one that's just done so well. Oh, that's awesome. That'd be cool. Look, man, this is fun. I think it was fun to talk about this stuff. It gets really tiring when we get into the whole trying to like sports argue about it,
Yeah.
than just talking about how we feel if people saying if they think something's good or not. That at least makes it more interesting.
No, I agree. And I
This
mean,
is cool.
it's a
A lot
good
of cool nominees. A lot
Yeah.
of interesting ones. Oscar's gonna Oscar.
Exactly. Oscars are going to Oscar. I think we did get a good crop. A decent amount of variety. I do think Challengers was completely shut out, which was kind of insane.
It came out too early, and it wasn't memorable enough.
I mean,
that's
that's
the
score,
issue. The
though.
Academy
It's
very rarely
always
does the
a recency
Academy
bias.
remember.
That's why I was happy. I think when it came to Dune 2 getting its Best Picture nom, I think that was the Academy realizing, like, if we don't at least put this in like the noms, and you said Wicked, it was a box office. Dune 2 is quality and box office.
Yeah, I know, I get that there.
So if people would have revolted because it was one of
I think that the issue is that very rarely does the Academy ever really show that, past an average recency bias. Every so often they're like, oh yeah, there's something that actually came out in the first half of the year. Let's talk about it. Like, the year before, of course, we had Barbie and Oppenheimer, but those are such like an outlier to the general like thing.
They were also like they were the second half of the year technically.
Yeah, but also look at everything everywhere.
That's still early enough. That's summer blockbuster type territory.
But Paige, that's difficult. The thing. That and Everywhere All at Once is one of those films that transcended that. Get Out is one of those films that transcended that. Get Out
very rarely.
Fucking February.
Yeah. So did Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yes.
Like occasionally there's one that breaks through, and it's always one where that gets a lot of wins, not just nominations.
Super memorable.
Or it gets a huge crucial type of win to be like, oh yes, this is awesome. Yeah. We want to make sure that we know that
Challengers wasn't anywhere. I'll be honest.
But
it's not anywhere near the level of those other two.
I disagree about that. I love it. I
know you love it.
Same. Thought it was great. I think it's well deserving.
I didn't see it until 2 months ago, and
You want to talk about things with Luca though? Let's move on to Queer would have been cool if it had a production design nomination.
Oh, I agree. Yes. Yeah,
that would have been awesome. That would have been so cool.
I agree.
Yes, could have been double score nominations for 9 Inch Nails guys this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also
Black Panther, another one that transcends for a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
The first Creed movie came out in, I think it was March of that year. So another one where at least most people felt
Creed and Creed 2 both came out Thanksgiving weekend, and Creed 3 came out in March.
I thought Creed 1 came out in the spring also. Oh, no, you're right. No, that's Thanksgiving weekend. You're correct. Yeah, but yeah, still. I
mean, it's curious how things would have played out if Dune 2 came out in November of I guess last year. But I mean, time will tell with these awards. I am curious. I do think a lot of the categories are pretty open, which is kind of the crazy thing. Like, it's anyone's game, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I mean, congrats to all the nominees. They're all well-deserved. I think there were some that were definitely snubbed. Maybe a few surprises.
I think it's not so much a snub. Snub is always like that. That puts too much stock in these awards. Actually, really.
But I think Denis was snubbed, and I think
Nosferatu is snubbed from Best Picture. It should have definitely been there over Amelia Perez.
Nosferatu is cool.
No, I think there were.
Nosferatu has no ass. Like I don't know if you saw that. He has no ass.
Listen. I have friends who are talking about putting those standees up and saying it stays in the room during sex. So
Yeah, I know who your friend is exactly who's probably talking about
no,
that.
I have multiple friends saying that.
Crazy guys.
You need to get out
Crazy,
more.
I tell you.
Oh, jeez.
But
Cool.
yes, but yeah. Other than that, Denny was the big one for me. Otherwise, I could argue Denzel, but I still could argue I prefer everyone else in
Yeah.
Actually, I probably put going back to Jess. Granted, neither of them need it. I would put Denzel in over Edward Norton. So that's just me personally.
Like, if you're gonna have one guy in there who's like the one that you just want to keep giving people credit for, yeah, sure. I would rather you even having not seen it, like obviously, so then I wouldn't vote for it there. But like, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, sure, Denzel would be a cool choice. He's just like having a ball, and
That's the
it's
thing, yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, my biggest takeaway.
How have you not seen that? It's on Paramount Plus now.
I mean, my biggest.
It just dropped on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I think.
Jeff, I also know the other way you watch movies, so I was shocked that you haven't watched.
Me?
What got dropped on Paramount?
What have I not dropped? What have I not watched?
I said Gladiator 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it opening weekend.
Okay.
No, I think Sing Sing not getting in for Best Picture. While I won't say it was a snub because the ones that were nominated are like warranted. Like you
put
it
out there because you think it is one of the best.
Yes, exactly. But I do think Challenges did get snubbed for editing, score, best original song.
Great editing and great score. In fact, I would probably also do sound for that.
Did we even get a song nomination out today? Because I haven't seen that anywhere.
Yeah, there were original song nominations. By the way, across the board, pretty just exhausting. Like,
and that's exactly why they aren't playing.
The nominations are we got fucking 2 songs from Amelia Perez. You got Like a Bird from Sing Sing. That's probably very nice. I don't remember it off the top of my head. Never Too Late.
The
from
Journey
Elton
from the
John.
888.
And 888, Diane Warren trying to like trick me into watching a Tyler Perry film. Stop it. I'm not going to do it. You can't make me.
Yeah, they're not playing the original songs this year.
Good. This may be the one year I'm fine with it.
I think I'm okay.
Everyone was like annoyed, and it's like, oh man. Look,
and then they're like, yeah, we don't care.
Man, you know what would have been awesome if Kneecap got in? That would have been so cool.
That would have been cool
awesome.
to see them perform.
Kneecap's a lot of fun. That for international feature as well. Mm-hmm. Like the whole point of the movie is recognizing that language.
I would have been fine with Out of Oklahoma from Twisters. Honestly, would have been.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the Lainey Wilson song.
I don't even know who Lainey Wilson is.
Neither do I. It's Lainey Wilson and Luke Combs.
Oh, okay.
Luke Dickey, not Combs.
No,
I don't know who that is.
But I mean, I know
Kiss the Sky from the Wild Robot. That was a great one.
Yes,
I haven't seen it, but I heard that was great.
Piece by Piece from Pharrell Williams.
Challengers.
Yes, that fucking would have been dope to
That's just a vibe.
That's a vibe. That's I think that is the best score of the year. Is Challengers.
Yes, it is. I tweeted this out more than once, I believe. But when I need to lock in at work. Like I work at home, and if I know that I need to get these things done, I can't really stop. I can't look at my phone. I can't be distracted. I know I got to get this stuff done because it's important. I put on the Challengers score. It's about 45 minutes or so, the whole score, but it like really like gets me going for like a period of time before I can like take my eyes off the screen for a minute.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? I'm just gonna listen to it and get it through this Oscar season because these are the nominees we have, guys. This is what we're working with. I'm curious to see when are the Oscars? March what?
Let me double check. I think it's March 11th.
I should know this. We should all know this off the top of our heads.
You want to talk about complaining about AI and things? Let's talk about how Alien Romulus, great visual effects, but also then there's the whole Ash spot thing,
which is weird that got nominated.
Which was all put together with like AI, and it's like yes.
No. It was fixed for the home release in AI.
They replaced it.
They didn't replace it. They fixed. They made tweaks with using AI post the
Well, that's what I thought was weird.
Oh, post. Okay, so it wasn't. Okay,
It wasn't for the theatrical release. So
I take that part back. At least that part. Then cool. Shows that I didn't read past the headline. Probably.
But that is the interesting thing, though, is that it did get nominated with that wonky Ash like effect. But everything else in that movie was great, though. So I mean, I can't complain.
yeah.
I love that Better Man got nominated. Last thing I want to say, and then I want to go. I love that Better Man did get a nomination for visual effects. It got nominated. That
Yes.
means officially Better Man,
As
Oscar-nominated
an
film. Hopefully,
yes.
that just means that hopefully more people will then watch it because it's one of those. Because there are people who like
it made only like
the all nominations.
It
made like $1.8 million.
No, this weekend it only made like.
I meant like $1.8 million like total it's made after the weekend. It's like that sucks because tracking box office that's not a quality thing necessarily, but it's like I wish more people saw it because it's so good.
Yeah, it made less than $200,000 this past weekend.
Yeah, because they took it out of most of its theaters.
Yeah.
I want to hear about the fucking what is it? I want to hear about. I haven't heard about him before. Yeah, I didn't hear about Sebastian before I saw La La Land, or whatever. That's dumb. That's the name of Ryan Gosling's character.
Oh, you're right.
Him before I saw La La Land.
I was like, wait, what are you talking about at first? But yeah.
Yeah. See, you don't even know who Sebastian is.
No, I did once you said it at first. I was like, who is he talking about? I thought you were talking about Sebastian Stan, and I was like, he's not in La La Land. But yes, his character.
I've never heard of Laszlo Toth, but I watched The Brutalist.
And also, you think a guy being replaced by a digital monkey would have been enough of a
That's interesting. But no, everyone has to be fucking boring there. I guess.
Right.
It's a cool movie. People should watch it. Anyways, let's wrap up. I'm tired.
Yes.
Let's wrap it up, guys. We're rambling now.
All right.
I gotta feed the cats.
Jeff, where can the good people find you?
Here, in my house, where I normally am.
Address social?
At GEOFF1106. That's at GEOFF1106. That's it.
Paige, where can the good people find you?
Yeah, guys. Twitter, Instagram, Front Page News 9. Also, check out my latest movie and TV reviews over at bitesizebreakdown.com. You can just keep this on my face if you want. Matt, where can they find you?
Everyone knows where to find me and Jeff at times, and that's here over at Mont Real Entertainment.
Like and subscribe, guys.
Yes, we are just need to get the hours up, and I can start making money off of this.
Oh.
Yes.
No, that's cool. Good for you.
Well, no, just got to pay for the stuff we use.
Let me just put a video on repeat on my phone or something.
Hey,
I don't know if you can do it.
I'll do that for you. Make sure you guys all do this.
Yeah, but also you can check out all of the collabs I'll be doing on various channels over the next few months. More on that later. And yeah, just Jeff and I you're going to be seeing a lot of our mugs the next 11 months almost, because this is going to be a massive year for movies, and we're going to have a ton of reviews coming out.
Yeah, we're coming out of the strike year where there was not necessarily as much stuff that companies were ready to put out.
And that's why I said they're going to see a lot of our ugly mugs soon. So with that, folks, signing off, I am Matt. That is Jeff and Paige, and we will see you next time. Peace.